Now, the inquest into the 1993 Highgate Hotel Massacre in East London has resumed. It has sat twice already this year. The massacre claimed 5 lives and left 7 others injured. APLA was blamed for the attack, but it denies any involvement, and no amnesty applications were filed linked to the attack. For more on the story, we've got SABC News reporter Sidima Mfeku. Sidima, update us on this and what's expected today.
Very good morning to you, Leanne. We're expecting to hear more testimonies from some of the experts that are being called to testify here at the inquest. Yesterday, we listened to the evidence of Mr. Robert Tyrrell, who is from the Foundation for Human Rights. That foundation is the one that's standing that's advocating for the families and the victims who were affected during the 1993 Highgate Hotel Massacre. He testified about some of his research, because he is a senior research officer. He testified about some of the research that he has done during the 1990s, looking at massacres and attacks that had occurred during the apartheid around the 1990s, and he zoomed into this one because the Foundation for Human Rights has got interest in this particular massacre. He told the inquest that he gathered his evidence using most of what was said on the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, and that he could not make use of media reports during that time because there was a lot of bias based on the circumstances in that apartheid era. He says that even though government, in the form of the Department of Law and Order, the minister in that department during that time alleged that APLA was involved and rather responsible for the Highgate massacre, he says that that could not be a reliable source for his research, as also there was bias in that regard insofar as the minister being the minister of the apartheid regime. When he testified, he told the Highgate inquest that 80% of the attacks that APLA was responsible for, they had gone to the TRC and admitted guilt to. And he also testified that when he was looking at some of the equipment or weapons that were used during that attack, you remember that the rifles were used, the explosives were used. He could not conclude that really APLA was involved in this attack, as APLA is not used to when looking at some of the attacks that APLA had committed. He says that the weapons that APLA used back then were not high end as compared to the ones that were used at the Highgate attack. He further told the inquest that in terms of the nature of the attacks that APLA would do and maybe the targets that they were looking into, they were mostly looking at farms and vehicles or civilians that were in moving vehicles, and they therefore could not link any of the incidents or the attacks that APLA may have committed to this particular Highgate Hotel attack. And he further testified that because this had happened in a city in East London, APLA could not have used high-end weapons for this attack, because then why would they use something that they are not used to in a city where retaliation would be expected? We are expecting to hear more witnesses in this matter, including police officers who were investigating officers during the time of the incident.
All right, very interesting. We'll wait and see what comes out of that one. Thank you for that particular story, and that's, of course, coming out of the Eastern Cape.